Hi there, Year 4. Welcome to today's English lesson. Today we're looking at this. Can I use illustrations and labelling to present factual information? Now that's quite a long can I title, but actually it's not as complicated as you might think. Today we're going to be focusing on a few different pages of Kay's Anatomy. So if you have your book at home, make sure you've got it with you. If not, don't worry, because all of the pages you need are on Google Classroom. This is the first page you'll need. This is on page 12 of Kay's Anatomy, and it's a double page all about the organs in the human body. Feel free to pause the video now to have a look at these pages either in your book or on Google Classroom. For me, the best thing about these pages is definitely the illustrations. So let's break it down and have a look at each part. The first thing you find on the page is kind of an introduction, telling you what the page is about. An organ is a large musical instrument with a couple of keyboards, loads of different pedals, and some massive pipes. An organ can also mean a part of your body that does a specific thing. You see, Adam Kay is trying to be funny there because there are two definitions of the word organ. The first one is the musical instrument, as he said, and the second one is the parts of the human body that do specific jobs. But actually, he's also been quite clever, because calling an organ of your body an organ, as in the musical instrument, is kind of a metaphor. Because if you think about it, if you look at this organ, there are so many different parts to it. You've got keyboards that you have to play, you've got these things you have to pull out, you've got pedals you've got to press, these are all pedals as well. There are so many things to do. You need to do all of those things to make the organ work properly. And it's the same in the human body. You've got all of these organs doing different jobs, but you need all of them to work to be able to function properly as a human. Very clever wordplay there from Mr. Kay. Each picture on these pages shows us a different organ in the body and tells us what it does. For example, you have the heart here, which pumps blood. The lungs pump air. The brain pumps nothing, but it's still fairly useful. And the stomach, where food goes. And the illustrator has drawn all of the organs as if they're tiny little characters, tiny little people. We've got more here. This one's my favourite. The intestines, which make the poo. He looks very proud of his poo. We have kidneys, which make wee. We have the liver, which cleans up your blood. We also have another few things as well, which aren't organs, but are quite important. Bacteria and viruses, annoying and infecting. Cells, which Adam Kay describes as the little lumps of Lego that every organ is made of. And then you've got Pippin, his dog. Not really part of the body, but cute, isn't she? So again, you've got Adam Kay's humour coming into this book already. Adam Kay has already used a couple of clever features in these pages. The first one is personification, which is a very long word, but it means something quite simple. It means giving an object human qualities or abilities, so pretending something can do things like a human. For example, the picture of the liver here, it says it cleans up your blood, and that is what the liver does. However, the illustrator has drawn a picture of a little character cleaning windows. Obviously, the liver doesn't quite do it that way, but it makes it much more interesting for us. The other feature he's used is a metaphor. So a metaphor is saying something is actually something else, just to create an image in our heads. So he said that cells are the little lumps of Lego that every organ is made of. Now, our organs aren't really made of Lego, at least I don't think so, but it really creates an image in our mind of how cells work. You put lots of cells together to build up all of the organs in our body. Adam Kay's not the only one to use interesting and funny diagrams and pictures in his books. These pictures are taken from a Horrible Histories book, which you might be quite familiar with. And they use a lot of diagrams, pictures, maps, all sorts of things to help us understand sometimes quite complicated things. I've made a list of some of the features that you might find with these illustrations. So, for example, you might find cartoon style drawings. You might find captions, so like the organ pictures had captions underneath, just a little bit of writing to tell you more about the picture. Labels, arrows, maps, humour, lots of humour definitely. Personification we looked at just now, and it's simplified. That just means it's giving us quite complicated ideas in a really simple way. We're also going to look at this section of the book today. It's on page 184 if you've got the book at home, and if not, again, it's on Google Classroom for you. But before we do that, before we start reading, I want you to do something for me. I want you to have a look at this diagram here, which tells you more about your teeth. And it tells you what the different types of teeth are called. We have incisors, wisdom teeth, premolars, canines, and molars. What I want you to do is pause the video here and go and find a mirror somewhere and really admire your teeth. Really have a good look at them. See if you can work out which type of teeth they are. How many teeth do you have at the moment? If you've got any missing, can you see any new teeth growing in the gaps? Go and have a really good look and then come back for today's part of the book. Right, let's get reading. Teeth. Now that you can taste food, that refers to the previous chapter, it's time to chew it. First to arrive are your baby teeth, or milk teeth, or primary teeth if we're going to be all scientific about it. They usually start to appear after a few months, and you end up with 20 of them. One by one, the adult or permanent teeth nudge these out of the way, and they fall out. Your adult teeth usually start to appear around the age of 5 or 6, so calling them adult teeth is pushing it slightly. Put your baby teeth under your pillow and cha-ching! It's weird how you get money for your old teeth, but not for your fingernails or scabs. Imagine if there was a scab fairy. Actually, stop imagining that, it's making me feel ill. Dentists call it eruption when your adult teeth come through, which sounds much more dramatic than it actually is. Still, I guess if your job is looking into people's mouths all day long, then you have to find excitement where you can. Most of your teeth are actually under the surface. The lower part of your tooth is called the root because it buries deep in your jawbone like the roots of a plant. You have 32 adult teeth, or you will once you've got them all. 8 incisors. These are the sharp teeth at the front of your mouth. To incise means to cut, and that's exactly what they're there for. Your own personal set of cutlery. 4 canines. Yes, canine like a dog. They're the next teeth along from the incisors, and they're for tearing into food, like when Pippin destroys my brand new pair of trainers for no reason whatsoever. 8 premolars. These are for crushing up food, like the back of a bin lorry. 8 molars. These have flat tops to grind food up even smaller, like a pepper mill. It's really important that your food gets chewed properly, otherwise you can upset your intestines, and you don't want to upset that lot, I promise you. 4 wisdom teeth. These are at the very back of your mouth, and they keep hitting the snooze button until you're 18 or older. Wisdom teeth sometimes come out wonky and need to be removed. By a dentist, I mean. You don't have to do it yourself. They're called wisdom teeth because you're apparently wiser when you get them than when your other teeth appeared, which makes me think Clive is very biased against children. Now, Clive is who he has decided is the person responsible for naming all the different parts of the body, just in case you're not sure. And that's all we're going to read today. Let's have a look back at that diagram and see if we can notice what he's told us about the different types of teeth. Adam Kay told us that our incisors at the front are quite sharp because they're for cutting. The next ones, our canines, are quite pointy and sharp because they're for tearing food. And that our premolars are for crushing and our molars are for grinding the food, so they've got a much larger surface on them. Again, pause the video, go and have a look back in the mirror again and see if you can see this in your teeth. Did you see all the different features on your teeth? They're interesting little things, aren't they? Now let's move on to what we'd like you to do today. Now think back to that page all about the organs that we looked at and how it has lots of pictures to show us things and then little captions underneath to teach us more, but in a very simple way. That's what we'd like you to do today for the teeth. So we've learned lots about the different types of teeth. We'd like you to put that together into a kind of a tooth gallery using what you've learned. You can use lots of illustrations, so lots of drawings, and simple labels or captions. Not a lot of writing is needed today at all. I've put the list here in case it helps you to remember the kind of things that we might be looking for on your page. This is my piece of paper here, and the first thing I might do on a separate piece is just make a little list of the things I want to include. So the things in black here are the things we've learned about: incisors, canines, premolars, molars, wisdom teeth, and of course the roots of your teeth as well. These bits in blue are extra bits that are on the next few pages of the book. So if you want to read on and include those as well, that's absolutely fine. But if not, just stick to these bits. That's what I'm going to do. I've decided I'm going to set mine out like a proper gallery with picture frames. And I need 6 frames because I've got 6 things. So I've written my introduction at the top just to explain what the page is about. So I've written teeth are very important. Without them, you'd be eating nothing but soup and yogurt. Different teeth have different jobs. And then here I can put a different one in each picture and add a caption to go with it. So I've put roots here, and I've actually done a picture of a tree with roots to help people understand what they're like. And they hold the tooth down in the gum like the roots of a tree. And then I might move on to the incisors next. So I might draw a tooth with maybe a pair of scissors, because incisors, of course, are for cutting your food. You can do whatever you'd like to help explain all the different teeth and how they work. Make it as funny and interesting as you'd like, and enjoy drawing the pictures. That's always the best bit. Have fun with your tooth gallery. Bye.